Hey everyone, welcome to the show. As you guys all know, today was the final January 6th hearing, although they did leave the door open a little bit by saying they're going to keep investigating. So there could be more. And the biggest news to come out of today's hearing is that they voted live on air to subpoena Donald Trump to appear before the committee and testify. Of course, he doesn't have the ovaries to do it, so it's never going to happen. You know, it'll just show him for the coward that he is. But Liz Cheney also announced that they're considering a, quote, series of criminal referrals to the Justice Department. The committee also confirmed some key previous testimony, and they showed some Trump allies for the liars that they are, which I'll get to. And here are some of the new details that they shared. Greg Jacob, who is the White House counsel to VP Mike Pence, he testified that he had an alarming conversation with Mark Short, that was Pence's chief of staff. In this conversation, Short shared his concerns about chatter that he was picking up around the White House that Trump planned to falsely declare victory after the election. And Short said that basically he wanted to avoid Pence getting roped into this lie. It was also revealed that Trump digital advisor Brad Parscale told the committee that Trump planned as early as July of 2020 to declare victory even if he lost. They also shared a document written by Tom Fitton. He's the president of the right-wing site called Judicial Watch. He's not an attorney, by the way, but there was a document that he drafted of a speech. This was written prior to the election even, in which he would have Trump just declare victory. And Fitton also sent email messages in which he discussed the idea of Trump declaring himself the winner based on same-day votes, meaning votes cast in person that day, which always favor Republican candidates. Then the committee reiterated and replayed clips of Trump administration officials acknowledging that he lost, some of them saying he knew he lost as well. Some of the officials confirmed that they encouraged Trump to stop buying into these conspiracy theories. The committee also played numerous videos of Trump making false accusations against Dominion voting systems. So I'd really love to know when his defamation lawsuit will be filed. They also shared clips of Steve Bannon and Roger Stone sharing the plan in advance to just falsely claim that the election was stolen, declare victory, refuse to leave office. I mean, this was all planned in advance. One other big piece of the puzzle that was a new revelation is that Trump sent a memo to military officials ordering the immediate removal of all troops from Somalia and Afghanistan without any plan in place. This was right after the election. The officials they interviewed said that this was dangerous, it was reckless, and that Trump made it clear he wanted this done right away before Biden took office. So their point was that Trump knew he lost and that he'd be leaving the White House. To be honest, I don't know if I would have included this. This is kind of a double-edged sword because it could be used by Trump allies to say, oh, see, he had no intention of trying to remain in office and commit a coup. He was planning on leaving. He knew he was leaving. We all know that's BS and that he just wanted the credit for bringing the troops home, but that's how they're going to spin it. Anyway, the committee also shared a video of Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony. As you guys all know, probably she was an aide to Mark Meadows. In this clip, which they had previously not shared, she was talking about how furious Trump was when the Supreme Court rejected his election lawsuit. Not his, other people filed it, but you guys might remember it was like a really big deal. Hutchinson said that she and Meadows passed Trump in the hallway, and he told Meadows that you need to do something about this because, quote, I don't want people to know we lost, Mark. And then he also made some comment about we should have made more phone calls or more calls, something to that effect. What calls? Who were they calling exactly? Supreme Court justices, maybe? They also confirmed that Tony Ornato is full of shit and that Cassidy Hutchinson was absolutely telling the truth about Trump's violent tantrum. This was the one he threw in his limo on January 6th. Other witnesses have corroborated Hutchinson's version of the events, and they said that basically Trump's meltdown was office cooler talk. Like everybody knew about it in the whole building. And then the committee also announced that they're investigating obstruction charges or obstruction crimes regarding that Trump meltdown. And they alluded to the fact that someone urged witnesses to either keep quiet about it or to deny it, but there was some sort of obstruction going on with that. They also played a bunch of video testimony from various witnesses confirming the fact that Trump was watching TV as the Capitol was being attacked. So that undercuts a lot of the right-wing lies about Trump not knowing what was going on, or that, Kevin McCarthy audio that just came out that the right wing is hanging their hat on, that McCarthy told Officer Fanone and I think other people, oh, Trump didn't even know. He had no idea. Really? He's the president. Nobody told him. Okay, sure, Jan. But yeah, everybody confirmed, yes, he was watching TV. These were people who were literally in the room with him while he was watching the attack. So they were standing there. They saw what he was looking at on live TV. But some of the most damning information and footage from today was of January 6th and of intelligence that was received in the lead up to January 6th. So for instance, they showed a bunch of emails, FBI tips, radio communications, other documents, which prove that someone or multiple people or organizations completely dropped the ball, possibly willfully ignored the threats from Trump supporters. And they proved with witness testimony that Trump knew of the threats prior to January 6th, yet he stoked the fire anyway. In fact, General Mark Milley testified that he and others were told prior to January 6th, quote, "The greatest threat is a direct assault on the Capitol." And the FBI, as we all know, had ample warning, yet they chose to ignore it for some reason. The committee read an FBI tip, in fact, stating that the Proud Boys plan to march armed into DC, and the tipster was literally pleading with the FBI to take it seriously because this person said that the Proud Boys wanted to, quote, "kill people." The committee also shared Secret Service messages, which prove that they were well aware of the threats of violence in advance. They talked about the, quote, "calm before the storm" and, quote, "crazies. And they discussed their concerns about people with weapons. The committee actually proved with written documentation that the Secret Service knew about the threat of violence on January 6th and the fact that people wanted to attack the Capitol specifically at least 10 days in advance of the Capitol attack. Seems like they should have cared about that. They also played a montage, this was really damning, of the mob inside and outside the Capitol. They were making threats, they were beating officers, and this was weaved in with videos of Congress members being taken to safety. And then one new thing they included with this, which really dispels this myth from the right, is video clips of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and then other people too, but primarily the two of them making calls for help. They were calling the mayor and requesting the National Guard. They were calling military leaders and pleading for help. And you can see and hear their requests were escalating in tone as nothing was being done and the situation was becoming dire. So I think overall, the theme today was everyone who could have done something to stop this knew about it in advance, and they did nothing. Everyone, the military, the Secret Service, the FBI, Trump. So now we need to know why. And I don't think it's that difficult of a question to answer. You sit their asses down in a chair and you ask, what did you do after you read these messages and these social media posts? If that person did nothing, charge them with some sort of crime, or at the very least, fire them. If that person handed it off to someone else, then you sit that person down. You ask the same question and you work your way up and you take action until you either get rid of or charge every single person who chose to do nothing. Anyway, guys, when I hear more, I will let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.